Good afternoon. It's time for another video. I am completely lost in the order of videos I'm doing. I forgot where I was at the end of the year. So I'm just trying different things now. And what I'm going to do today is a spoil full breakdown of one of my books. And it's going to be hard because I'm just going to do it off the top of my head, trying to remember as much as I can. I'm just start with one of the major pins because with Demon Hunters, because recently someone's been reading the book, because I've seen my pages read on Amazon go up over 300 pages so far, added to like over 140 pages from last month. So that's pretty much the whole book. So God bless whoever's reading my book. So I'm only going to do part one. I try to keep these videos short, so bear with me. Okay, so Demon Hunters. So it's Jake Corba. He's 25 years old, kind of homeless. He lives in some rundown apartment building, but he spends most of his days on the streets begging for money. And he's approached by this strange guy named Ivar, who says that he knows about his family, the legacy of his family, and he wants to learn from him. Of course, Jake thinks this guy's nuts, so he avoids him. And then one day, when he finally saves up enough money to actually buy some food, he loses it through a hole in his pocket, and when he's gathering up his change, a little girl is picking up some of his lost coins, and he attacks the little girl, and of course he's arrested and sent to jail, where he meets Sam, who claims to be a warlock and who can free him of the demon that he is possessed by. Did I not mention he was possessed? He's possessed. Anyways, so Jake takes him up on the offer because after Sam proves that he is indeed a warlock, he says, okay, do it. So come midnight, Jake meets with Sam in this abandoned warehouse. He performs the ceremony, and the demon is pulled from his body. He's freed, but there's a caveat. He's now got an undetermined amount of time to live, because as long as the demon is freed from him, his life force is slipping away, and as his life force slips away, the demon's life force builds up. So they're kind of an hourglass sound issue. But the demon can get all its power back if it just kills Jake. So now Jake goes running to Ivar for help, because now things are serious and he needs some way out of it. And Ivar knows a way that Jake can be permanently separated from the demon safely, but they need to talk to someone known only as the One. So Ivar agrees to take Jake to meet the One and have this done. So they go on a little road trip. The demons and Sam are hunting them down all along the way. Eventually their travels take them to an event that rhymes with Schmurning Man. And that's where Jake finally meets the One, who goes by the name Jonathan. And they have a nice little discussion, and he tells him to meet up later. I'm not 100% on, I forget how that went. But eventually, the upshot is they're sent on a quest to the town of Diablo Luto. So further in the desert, in what I call the Valley of Sorrow and Death. And one night, Jake goes wandering, and he finds a chapel in the middle of the desert where no chapel should be. He goes in, he's attacked by a swarm of shadow beasts, but he finds a door, and he finds this little secret area where Jonathan is having a little feast with some of his supernatural. I can't think of the word right now. The woman is, one of them is Lilith, who is very skeptical of him. She sees two paths in Jake. One path of destruction, one path of salvation. And Jonathan just tells Jake, okay, fine. And he, after asking him if he's sure about this choice, Jake says yes. So Jonathan absolves him, and Jake presumably is now free of the devil, is free of the demon. And he leaves. The church is empty, and he thinks he's in the clear, and now everything can be fine. So he walks out of the chapel, but then he's blindsided by the demon and Sam. Sam now controlling the demon, and the demon wanting revenge against Jake because it blames him for its years of bondage to his soul. And as the demon beats down on Jake, that's when he realizes that before this, he had an obligation. He had a calling to use what was the worst thing that could ever happen to him to be something more than what he was. And he realized then that that the demon was as trapped with him as he was trapped with the demon. And he also finds out that Sam isn't Sam. Sam is actually his Uncle James. And James had actually summoned the demon originally the night that Jake was baptized, the night that the demon came. James's plan was to bring the demon and use Jake as a sacrifice to complete the sacrament so that he would have control of the demon, which was, his plan all along. But things didn't go quite the way he had planned, and now he's finally come to claim what he believes is his. But Jake finally realizes that maybe things didn't work out. Maybe things did work out the way they were supposed to, and he voluntarily takes back the demon. And Sam is, of course, upset. They fight, but Jake is done fighting, and he decides that there's only more. He has the demon, Sam has no power, and is that how I know? Because I remember at the end, Sam runs for cover for sanctuary in the chapel, and that's when the shadow beasts get him. So he's done, and then pardon if I got you'll have to read the book to find out about the ending, clear that up, and then Jake runs back into Ivar, explains what happened, explains the situation, and they just decide to get back on the road back to LA, where Jake decides, maybe we should go on business together. He says he's thinking that he's got abilities, he's got a gift to give, and maybe they would be better spent as a paranormal investigative team, to which Ivar is open, and they drive off into the night. It's all happened at night. They drive off into the night, and that is the end of part 1. So if you want to know actually what happens, you got to read the book, but there's a taste of it, and if I remember, I will do part 2 next week. So until then, have a good day. Bye.